Hello, Chris Colby here, and today I want to talk about the top 5 investments that you can make this year. So, the top 5 investments in no particular order. Well, there is one that I think is number 1, and I shall tell you at the time. But number 5 is to invest in your health. So, if you want to function at maximum performance, peak performance, you've got to have a healthy body that enables you to do that. So investing in your health is really, really important, whether that's investing in a gym, investing in a personal trainer, I don't know. Even if things like investing in little comments around. So I have these sort of motivational comments around the kitchen just to remind me what I'm trying to do, what I'm putting in my body will have a massive effect on how I feel. So looking after your health is a really, really, really important thing. Whether that could be reducing drinking, the amount of alcohol consumption, or just eating less sort of takeaway and more sort of natural food. So really, really important thing if you want to work at your peak performance. The second thing that I think is really, really, really important is an investment in something like gold. Now, the reason I bring up gold particularly, so gold in itself, I don't think is an amazing investment for sort of cash flow purposes, but what gold is it's a fantastic insurance policy. Now, what I mean about insurance policy is, particularly in 2020 at the moment, I'm filming this in September, there is a lot of volatility around sort of like the stock markets, the currency movements, etc. There's a lot of talk about, is the US dollar as the world's reserve currency, is that dying just because they're printing so much of the stuff? Looking back from, sort of Egyptian days, Roman days, everything, the ultimate insurance policy has always been gold, because gold, there is a finite amount of it. It's a controlled amount coming into circulation. So there is there is an intrinsic value behind gold. And lots of experts do predict that it is going to shoot up. Now, what those experts predicted shooting up by varies so much. But you can have a look at the past, and when stock markets and all sorts of things have crashed, gold has always done very well. So it's always worth having a little bit of gold in your investments. The third thing I think is a fantastic investment is property. Now, the reason I really like property is because you get paid twice with it. So with property, if you look historically, the value of property always goes up over time. It's not something you do for the short term because there are fluctuations in the property market, but for a long term, it always goes up in value. So particularly if you're using debt to buy this, which I think is a really, really good thing, so, mortgages, etc., as the value goes up, you can refinance the house and pull more money out of it. So it essentially becomes a no money down deal over time. What I also like about property, obviously, is you get the rental income. So that rental income covers the mortgage payments as well as all the other payments, and it also gives you a little bit of positive cash flow. So I love property, and I've got lots on my YouTube about property and why I like property so much. The fourth thing I think you can do really as a good investment is to invest in your personal brand. So whether that be things like clothing, the money you spend on networking, sort of doing Facebook ads, anything you can do that can help you elevate your personal brand in the marketplace is a fantastic investment, because for people to do business with you, they need to know you. And if you've got no kind of personal brand, it's very, very difficult to get things done. I know this. I'm fairly, the start of my property journey and going around the property world, I don't have much of a brand, and it does help. It hinders me because I have to build up that relationship with people before I can do business with them. But if you obviously got a good personal brand and people know of you, that does speed things up. So it's something that I'm really, really trying to concentrate on. And I really do recommend that you should try and concentrate on it, because personal brand, it's just brilliant. You look at some of the people such as Gary Vaynerchuk, Grant Cardone, etc. They've got fantastic personal brands. Now, whether you like what they do or not, that's for another debate, but you can't doubt that their personal brand is fantastic. Now, and the top thing you can do for an investment over all the others, so this is my number 1, is your education. So what I mean by your education, it's the amount of, whether that's time or money, but the amount of time or money you spend on educating yourself, whether that's sort of financial education, marketing education, branding, networking, all of those. It's always worth investing in those things first, because they will give you the contacts, the knowledge, etc., to make those other investments later down the line. I mean, you can make lots of property investments and that, but if you don't have the knowledge, you won't know what you're doing, so you won't particularly make very good investment decisions. So why not educate yourself a little bit before you go into something? So I fully promote education. Now, I don't mean education by, you know, finishing school and going to university and getting some degree that you probably will never use. That's not good education at all. But I mean educating on some of the basic things such as financial education, how to brand, how to market yourself, because how to sell, that's another really good thing. Because if you can't do these simple skills, they are going to hinder you in life. And no matter what you do, you are going to need to sell. And that's not selling a product or something, it's selling ideas. You need to sell the idea, for example, of going on a holiday to your spouse or your partner. You need to sell the idea of trying something, say a new process at work and that. You need to sell. It's all about it. So again, I'm spending quite a lot of my time trying to learn how to sell and then trying to put that into practice into daily life. So again, number one thing you can do for your investing in yourself is education. Anyway, I hope that's been helpful. Please comment below. I'll be interested to know whether there's anything that you guys think that is more important than those 5 or better than those 5. I obviously know there are people that deal with things like cryptocurrency, forex trading. So I'll be interested to see what your thoughts are, but I'd also be interested to see whether you would have been able to do that or do those without the education first. So please comment below. As always, please like and do subscribe to my channel. Do check out my some of my other videos up here, and I'll speak to you soon. Many thanks.